All right, good evening, everybody. I rarely come on live on the Hold the Line channel, but tonight I just feel like I wanted to share something with you. I pray that this would illuminate and revelate and open your eyes to some other perspective on the tariffs from what you may be hearing. I am not an economist. However, I went to business school. I have common sense. I took marketing classes. I took economics. I flipped homes. I had a business. I understand markets, right? I'm wearing, as you can see tonight, I'm wearing the Let Us Worship Canada shirt, the jacket they gave me with all the provinces on the back. I love Canada, and I've been so committed to your guys' country. I've been committed to Mexico. Both of these nations I've been in many times. I went into Canada in the lockdowns when almost no one was there. Some of my friends were thrown into prison and ripped away from their churches during the COVID lockdowns by Trudeau and his gang of thugs. I know what it's like to push back in your country, but I want to present to you a couple thoughts on these tariffs, okay? I know that you guys have seen the viral videos of people booing during the national anthems being played and all of this pushback, right? I've even got some pushback. But here's the thing. Number one, the U.S., the United States of America, has always thrived on tariffs. This is like the most American tradition we've ever done before. Literally the second bill ever signed by our first president was George Washington, and he signed a tariff on all imports. This is a guy in a nation, all imported goods were tariffed. And the Coast Guard was actually created to enforce tariffs. That's why we have the Coast Guard today. Because we were using the Coast Guard, had to be created to enforce the tariff. So this is a very American thing. Not only American thing, it's a very popular thing. I think you guys in other countries need to understand Americans voted for this. This is like something that Trump said during the beginning of his campaigning season, and Americans agreed with him. America's been ripped off in these countries. I mean, I don't want my tax dollars going to fund some trans parade in downtown Toronto. I don't trust the way that these governments use the money that's been given. But not only that, they're bad leaders. The American dollar has covered up for the horrible leadership in Canada and Mexico. And, God forbid that we have a president in power right now that actually follows through on one of his biggest campaign promises and says that he's going to put an end to it. So, this shouldn't be a surprise. He said he was going to do it. Now he's doing it. It's happening. And, I believe that God is working in this. And I want to share with you a little bit about that. And I want to target specifically you Canadians and Mexicans that are listening. Love you guys. Love your countries. But I think you need to understand what led to this moment. America is $36 trillion in debt. $36 trillion. Okay? $36 trillion in debt. Right? And a lot of it is because we've been paying for everything for everyone for a long time. And it has hurt our economy. It's hurting the future of our children. It is not just. It is not fair. But the fact that we're continually funding NATO and other countries aren't paying money into it, we're continually taking care of everybody and anybody, means that people are suffering here at home. And the number one calling, according to the Bible, of a leader is to take care of their people, right? And so a lot of this is very simple. Also, the fentanyl crisis pushed things over the edge. Did you know that enough fentanyl has come in from the northern border? I'm not even going to talk about the southern. You guys know all about that. The open border, the criminals, the cartels shooting at American Border Patrol from Mexico, shooting bullets at U.S. Border Patrol just days ago. The Mexican government does nothing about it, right? But in Canada, enough fentanyl has poured through the Canadian border to kill 10 million Americans. 10 million Americans. Enough fentanyl. And Trudeau refuses, after being asked repeatedly, nice, let's work on something. He refuses it. In fact, he came down Thanksgiving, spent time with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, thinking he could weasel his way around. But we have a president that's not playing games. And he said, dude, we're not changing. We're going to tariff you until things change. And so what led to this moment is $36 trillion in debt, borders that are not secure, money that is being spent for ridiculous causes, for stupid stuff that is that shouldn't be. It hasn't had checks on it for a long time. There's been no accountability, but praise God, we have accountability. It's coming right now. How should Canadians and Mexicans respond? I get asked this a lot. If you're a believer out there in Canada and Mexico, you kind of love America, but you're kind of mad. You don't know what to do. This is my advice to you. I would just humbly submit this to you. I believe that God is using Trump to upset the apple cart. I believe God is using him to bring a reckoning to your nation. I believe God is using him and this administration to expose the evils that are happening in your country. I believe that God is using him as a hand of justice. I really do. And of course, he had to pick somebody like a Samson, like a Jehu, that's somebody that's wild, somebody that doesn't care. But I believe that things are going to be exposed and discovered, and they already are. And I believe it's going to cause a massive shift, political movement, spiritual movement, a pushback of resistance in your nation to cause things to change. So my encouragement to you would be to pray. I don't think that hating on America or Americans or I don't know that that's very helpful, because I'm definitely not hating on you. Nobody in America is hating on you guys. We're just praying that things get put into correct order and alignment again, right? So I pray for you guys. I love to come to your countries. I pour my guts into your nations, right? But it's not compassionate for us to continue to fund evil and perversion and wickedness and really destruction to our own nation. And so I'm very happy that this is happening. I know a lot of people aren't. I know that it's probably going to affect our economy. It's already affected the crypto market. I know that it's going to cause things to be uncomfortable, but you know what? I say let justice roll, baby. Let justice roll. I'm willing to be inconvenienced for things to go up in price. To me, the economy is not God. To me, the value of the dollar is not God. To me, I want to live in a nation where righteousness and justice prevail. That is important to me. I don't care if I have to spend more on eggs. I don't give a rip. I want to see God move. I want to see God touch in these nations. I want to see every right thing made wrong. I want to see every globalist, Marxist, demonic leader exposed, and I want to see things changed for the glory of God. That's what I believe. Number 4, how should spirit-filled Christians respond? Great question. Great question, Sean. Spirit-filled Christians, I believe that we should be people of prayer and be detached from the narratives and the vitriol so that we can see that God may be doing maybe working in a greater way. I believe that we need to be people that are praying, that are preparing, and that are believing that God is working and he's moving in powerful ways. Why else would God spare the life of Trump? Why else would we see the millimeter miracle of him turning his head? Why else would we see the prayers of so many people around the world, millions of people around the world? It's interesting. I see people in Canada and Mexico and other places that prayed and believed for Trump to win and not Kamala, and now you're upset because the tariffs are happening. And it's well, he said he was going to do this the entire time. This shouldn't be a shock, But sometimes it's necessary to go through seasons of uncomfortability in order for things to change in your countries. And I believe things need to change in your country. Number 5, what about the other nations? I'm going to tell you, it's not going to stop here. You're going to see a reckoning, like the prophecies about Trump. The words are that he's a wrecking ball to systems. You're going to see the wrecking ball come to South Africa. He even talked about it today on the tarmac, how the government took away farms from people in South Africa and all the corruption that's been exposed. I've known this for years. We've all known this for years. It's just no president has had the guts to say anything, right? So now we have one that's going to do that. All of the stuff happening in the EU, like the Russia-Ukraine, all these areas. I think Australia is going to be even on the list. By the end of this, we're all going to be praying for each other, that God would keep our hearts clean from offense, because what God is working, the miracles that he's working are so much bigger than the fluctuation of our currency. And so that's my encouragement, guys. I know that For some of you, it's like, talk about tariffs. But man, God's working in ways that we could not even imagine. And I see you jumping in here from South Africa. Yes. I mean, I was so shook when President Trump talked about South Africa today. I was like, finally, somebody is saying what's needed to be said for decades. And I love how he said, we're going to pause all future funding until we get to the bottom of this investigation. And the truth is, guys, is that these world leaders, you have to apply political and economic pressure to get them to respond. And praise God that we have a president strong enough to do that. It's not just words. It's actually happening. And so for Canada, your best days are ahead of you. Your leadership is going to flip. Praise God, it's needed to happen. Mexico, your best days are ahead of you. Your leadership is going to flip. South Africa, Australia, the EU, all of these countries, God is working in such a profound, big way. And it's far bigger than just America, right? I mean, America's not even mentioned in the book of Revelation, right? I mean, what God is doing in the world right now is so much bigger than just our country, but yet he's using our country to cause massive change. So that's my encouragement. If this helps any of you, please share this. Like I said, I don't come live from here often. And I've seen this month, we've had over, I think 20 million new visitors, which is awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully I can help, sprinkle in some of my thoughts in the political realm, and hopefully they help you navigate the crazy season we live in. So God bless you guys. Share this with somebody. Again, I want to leave you with the Bible verse, Proverbs 14, verse 34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin condemns any people. So we want to see righteous nations raised up. And I believe that it's happening. There's been so much prayer and so much worship happening in the Capitol. That's about to happen in the White House. That's about to happen in the Pentagon. And God is going to move, and it's going to change the trajectory of nations. This is what we're believing for. We're revival people. This is what we believe in. So thank you guys. God bless the Canadians and the Mexicans, all of these incredible people out there. Lord, give them vision to see what you're doing. God, give them resilience, Lord, and give them a strategy on how to pray, on how to stand firm, how to be bold, and how to hold the line. All right. Love you guys. Have a great night. God bless.